You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hi, I'm Joe Heath.
I'm Toni Heath.
And this is the Watch-A-Thon of Rassilon. You do a bit here.
I actually never have.
I mean, that is the bit, is that you don't do a bit.
Is it?
You should come up with, like, little catchphrases.
That would require so much work.
Yeah, do a little work.
Well, sum me back up.
And this is the Watch-A-Thon of Rassilon.
Correct. Like that?
Yeah. Today we're going to be talking about the 12th and 13th episodes of the second series of Doctor Who, the final two. Army of Ghosts and Doomsday. A two-parter that aired from July 1st, 2006 to July 8th, 2006.
True facts!
It feels like that was just yesterday, 2006.
Yeah.
It's a lot longer than I think.
I was still in high school in 2006.
What?
Yeah.
We were married.
We hadn't met yet.
We hadn't met yet?
We hadn't met yet.
Oh, right. We didn't meet until, like, Matt Smith was on air.
Yeah.
Wow. Time doesn't make sense to me. So, I feel like there's nothing important to talk about before we talk about this episode. Nothing new going on in our lives. What do you think?
Yeah, no. That's probably true.
Yeah, I
There's
can't think of a single thing that could have happened to you specifically.
There's nothing new with me.
Your lower half specifically. The lower half of your lower half specifically. Do you want to tell people what you did?
I broke my ankle.
Toni broke their ankle.
At tryouts, so...
Yeah.
I didn't finish tryouts, so I didn't make the roster. It's all quite sad.
We're talking about roller derby. Toni twisted their ankle and fell on it and just snapped some bones in half.
I got metal in me now.
Yeah.
I'm bionic, and I can't drive for another month.
Yeah, how appropriate for this
Oh!
two-parter that you're part machine.
I mean, I don't think I'm part machine because there's no moving parts, right? Like, it's just screws and a plate.
Yeah.
For it to be a machine, there has to be...
Like a button?
There has to be movement, I think.
I mean, you can move it.
I can.
It helps you move.
That's true.
Otherwise, you would just be squashing around all over the place.
Ugh.
Like a stew. Like a leg stew.
Gross.
Yes, but Toni is a Cyberman, and we are here to talk about Cybermen.
Yeah.
So, you want me to do the summary? Or do you want to talk more about your ankle? Is there anything else you want to talk about your ankle?
Ketamine's weird.
Ketamine is weird. You just forgot that you are a human being.
It was very disorienting. That's it.
You're doing better now.
Yes. I went from the splint into the boot, and I'm allowed to take the boot off, which is nice. I have to take it off to do ankle exercises, which is sad on account of I can't move it at all.
You gotta build it back up.
Yeah.
You're moving faster than I thought you would. I didn't know it would go this quickly.
People keep saying that, and it's stressing me out, though.
Why?
That they're gonna jinx me.
Oh.
That, like, people are like, whoa, you're healing really fast. And I'm gonna get to the doctor, and they're gonna be like, what did you do? It's worse now.
Oh, because you're a worry wart.
Yeah.
Alright, well, let's distract you from it. Let's talk
All
about
right.
Doctor Who. Alright, so I have a summary. I have a serial title and new episode titles for these episodes, because that's the kind of weirdo that I like to be.
Alright, go for it.
So, this two-parter, the serial is called, I've called it, CVD.
CVD?
CVD.
What's CVD?
Cybermen versus Daleks.
Why didn't you call it Cybermen versus Daleks?
Didn't want to spoil the surprise.
So it's just CVD?
CVD, like AVP, which is Aliens versus Predator.
It sounds more like a kind of vape you get. This has CVD oil in it.
I think CVD might be a compact video disc.
Okay.
Anyway, part 1, which was originally called Army of Ghosts, I have called Ghost Shock.
Ghost Shock?
Yeah. Well, because there's ghosts in it, and I want to clue into the fact that they're Cybermen. And what's one of the most popular Cybermen serials? Earth Shock.
Ghost Shock is terrible.
Ghost Shock. I like it.
Just actively bad.
No, it's great. I came up with it real early this morning. Couldn't think of anything better. My second one's worse.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, I'm not gonna do. I'm gonna sum up episode 1, and then I'll tell you what episode 2 is called.
God, okay.
So, CVD Part 1, Ghost Shock. Rose brings her laundry to her mom and discovers that Earth is routinely being visited by ghosts.
The TARDIS not have a washing machine?
It's broken. That's my theory.
Is that why he's wearing the same outfit? That shit's disgusting.
He wears the same outfit for his entire tenure, and then when he regenerates, he just grabs a new one. Never washes. Never washes. When the Doctor tries to investigate these ghosts, he is captured by a secret organization that deals with aliens, and that organization is called not Unit, but Torchwood. Why couldn't it have been Unit? That's a question. Anyway, back to we'll get to that. I'm doing the summary. I can't get distracted. The Doctor soon figures out that the ghosts are actually Cybermen pushing their way into this world from a parallel universe. Rose finds Mickey undercover at Torchwood, investigating a big floating egg ship that was designed to exist in the void between universes. Mickey says he followed the Cybermen, and he pulls out a big gun to shoot them when they come out of the egg. But this egg has a surprise inside. Daleks!
Why are you calling it an egg?
It's a big round thing, isn't it?
It's a sphere.
It's a Kinder egg.
It's specifically not an egg. It's a perfectly round sphere.
Eggs can be spheres. Eggs are round.
Why don't you understand the concept of round?
Round means, like, you could put a rubber band around it and it would fit fine. Rubber bands are round.
Run that by me one more time. Round means...
I'm not saying that's what round means. I'm just giving you an example of how round works. There's a round bit to... It's an egg.
It's not an egg, it's a sphere!
Listen, you're ruining...
An egg is a different shape than a sphere.
Okay, but an egg is a shell that contains something inside of it. Is this not a Dalek egg?
No, it's a prison ship.
No, it's not. It's a void ship. The prison ship's inside the void ship. Thank you.
Okay. It's still not an egg.
There's a ship within a ship in this thing.
Why do you have difficulty comprehending the concept of round?
I think you just have a very strict, narrow-minded view of what round can be.
Yeah, because words mean things.
Words change meanings all the time.
Not the way you use them.
I think you're being awfully pedantic about the word round.
We have a long-running argument in our marriage.
Trees are round.
Trees aren't round! You can't just say things like that!
A part of it is round.
What part?
The round part. The circular... You tie something around a tree. Tie like a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. How can you tie a ribbon around something that isn't round?
You can... Trees aren't round.
Trees are round.
Stop.
Agree to disagree.
I can't.
And this is why we're in our current political climate.
Because some people think trees are round.
And some people are wrong. I haven't even gotten to my summary of episode 2 yet. Are you ready?
Yeah, anything to stop talking about this.
So CVD Part 2. Roses are dead. Which is what I've called Doomsday. From the longer poem, Roses are dead, the TARDIS is blue, Cybermen versus Daleks at the end of Series 2.
Alright.
Alright, so here's the summary for the second episode. The Daleks and Cybermen start fighting each other while the Doctor hops over to the parallel universe to talk to Rose's not-quite-dad, Pete. Everyone jumps back to Universe Prime, where Mickey accidentally causes the Daleks' Genesis arc to open, that's the prison ship, which spews out millions of Daleks. The Doctor reverses the polarity of the void and sends everything that's traveled through the void to be sucked back into it, which will result in closing the breach permanently. Rose almost gets sucked in too, but is saved at the last moment by Pete, who teleports her to his universe.
I've never understood how that worked. He just shows up at the exact right moment in the exact right place.
Yeah, that is a bit convenient.
Yeah.
Rose is now separated from the Doctor, but still has her mom, her not-quite-dad, and her ex-boyfriend. The Doctor harnesses the energy of a supernova to have one final incomplete conversation with Rose. Then a woman in a bridal gown appears in the TARDIS and yells at him. And that is...
Yay!
That is my summary. So, the Doctor just harnesses the energy, the power of the sun in the palm of my hand. He harnesses the energy of the sun to talk to Rose one last time, but can't say hi to his own fucking granddaughter. Jesus Christ. Doctor, get some perspective.
I mean, he still can't manage to say I love you.
No. Do you think he purposely, said that so slowly so that he didn't have to say it?
He does say it excruciatingly slow.
Well, I guess, since we're here and all, I guess I can say, hey, Rose, guess what? It's coming. Are you ready? Transmission ended.
What?
I think it's the equivalent of the Doctor being like, oh, sorry, I'm going through a tunnel.
It's a bad signal. We're breaking up.
We're breaking up. I rolled my eyes a bit at that point. The first time I saw this two-parter, I was very emotional because I had no idea what was happening.
Yeah.
That it was coming. And it was very sad. And I was like, oh no, Rose and him are separated forever. Little did I know at the time that this shit was all going to come back.
I do think...
And I think that's what lessens it this time for me.
You think so?
Yeah.
I was kind of wondering, I feel like, first time around, this shit is devastating.
Mm-hmm.
Like, first of all, the score.
Yeah, that guitar thing slaps.
So good. The, hands at the wall moment.
Mm-hmm.
And, just feeling that divide between them.
Why is the room flipped?
I don't know. For visual continuity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
No, you've thrown me.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say the impact was less this time. Where there's I found more times kind of being like, ugh, they are really annoying. I don't remember being annoyed by Ten and Rose my first go through the way that I was this one. So I don't know if I'm different as a person.
I don't know. I think I picked up on stuff more.
Yeah.
And again, I think part of it is just because I know what's coming.
Yeah.
Because I feel like some of Rose's worst qualities are amplified a bit when she comes back, but they are still present here. You just don't notice them quite as much until you've experienced all of it. Does that make sense?
I guess.
Because, I remember the first time that I was like, oh my god, at something Rose said, which was in I forget which episode it is, but it's that future episode when she's all acting like, what about me? When everybody's on the video call and she can't get through for some reason, and she acts like she's the most important person that could be talking to the Doctor or whatever.
Yeah.
That was the first time I was ever ugh. And then seeing this again for the second time, there's a lot of little moments like that I didn't notice before, the who's gonna hold his hand, or I'm gonna be with you forever, all that stuff.
Think in your first watch through, you're like, yeah, who? And then in your second watch through, it's like, well, other people exist.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think Rose had to be forcibly shoved into another universe so that she didn't destroy the show? So that the show could continue on in the way that it has to.
You're saying, is that the only way that this character would leave?
Yeah.
Is if they were physically barred.
Yeah, or dead. And dead's too harsh.
I mean, yeah, I think so. Do you know what I think it is?
What?
Actually, now that I think about it, your first time around, like Rose and the Doctor are like young love. And so like your first time around, you are also in young love. And like your second time around, you're like...
You've met Donna Noble.
But like your second time around, like when I think about us, like when we first met, there are times where I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's that exact same thing.
Kind of cringe.
Yeah, but it's like the difference between being in it and then having distance and being like, oh no.
Yeah. Speaking of that, what is up with that Ghostbusters scene? Was it that awkward the first time I watched it?
I remember it being very fun the first time I watched it. It did feel very awkward the second time.
It's like, what are you doing? It literally made me cringe. I don't know. I felt so like secondhand embarrassment for both of them. The Doctor's got a proton pack or some shit, and they're quoting Ghostbusters in the weirdest voice. Is that their American accents?
Oh, I guess.
Wow, I'm offended. I'm not offended. I'm just embarrassed. I want to make a quick correction before we dive in, because my correction will tie into this episode. I said there was no Torchwood in Fear Her, but there was. The BBC presenter said something about the Battle of Torchwood during a scene where Chloe Weber is drawing the Olympics. I missed that one. I missed that Torchwood update. Speaking of Torchwood update for this one,
we're in Torchwood.
We're in Torchwood. Torchwood Zero. You know, after this two-parter is when Torchwood with Captain Jack started. You think they would have set any of that up here?
Yeah, I was thinking that.
It's not the same location. It's not even really the same sort of deal.
Vibe?
Yeah. They're kind of the bad guys here, whereas I don't feel like Torchwood and Captain Jack is necessarily the bad guys.
I mean, is it
quite the same? I mean, they're a little morally ambiguous, but not... They're kind of just out and out like, fuck the Doctor, which I don't feel like Torchwood is.
But wasn't part of like the season 1 plot, and I don't remember this anymore.
I don't either.
Forever. Is that like Captain Jack kind of went in and took this thing and...
He like angeled it?
Yeah.
Yeah. From season 5 of Angel specifically?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. It's been a while.
I don't actually remember if that's the truth.
I do remember that this plot carries over into one of the worst episodes of Torchwood ever committed to
you're
television.
Right.
Cyberwoman.
That episode is a crime.
It is. It's terrible. Because basically...
Does that mean it's the same building?
It's not the same building, because Torchwood in the TV show, Torchwood, is in Cardiff. This is not in Cardiff. This is in London. It's a very tall building. Was it Canary Wharf or something like that?
Say it again?
No.
Okay.
Canary. I just saw the word and pronounced it as I saw it. It's Canary Wharf. Sorry. But yeah, because it's a completely different building. It's on the Rift.
Well, and I think what's fascinating too is that this Torchwood is like...
high tech.
High tech, like buco government money, and then like the show Torchwood basically feels like 4 people in a hole in the dirt.
A big hole in the dirt. I do think the set for Torchwood the show looks nicer and bigger.
Yeah.
Because I think the one in this episode feels smaller. That, like, it feels like a small set. Except for that big room where they have the Dalek ship. But, like, when they're just, like, in that room with, like, the glass that says Torchwood on it, it feels very small to me.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I feel like the show, it feels bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But, like,
scrubbier.
It feels like you're in a basement or something. Like a huge... It's got more of a Warehouse 13 kind of vibe to it.
Yeah, they're a lot more, like, scrappy.
Yeah.
See, I don't actually remember, like, how we get from that Torchwood to television show Torchwood.
And you refuse to watch the show again to find out.
I refuse to watch it again.
Yeah, for the show, for the podcast.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll watch it.
Yeah?
Just like a normal person watching television. I won't do a podcast, no.
Why not?
I don't want to.
Fair enough, I guess. I might do it and do bonus episodes. We'll see.
I can't stop you.
No, you can't stop me. I am unstoppable force. Also, I can get away from you very quickly because you have a broken leg.
I got that scooter now, though.
Yeah, you do have that scooter, and you're getting pretty good at it.
I'm getting real good at the scooter. I don't know if people saw me at... We had it was called Goth Prom. I, like, couldn't maneuver the, like, scooter the way that I wanted to. So I just, with one leg, picked it up, and turned it around. And was like, okay, I'm good.
Nice. You're so strong.
I'm so strong.
Even though you've broken your ankle, you've maintained strength in the rest of your
My
body.
right leg is
The broken one.
is weak as hell. My left leg, I've been straight up doing. I got as close as I've ever been doing.
A one-legged squat?
Yes, because I've had no other options. when I laid down on the ground and I made the mistake of laying down and then was like, oh no, I'm trapped here. I basically did a pistol squat to get up. I mean, assisted. I was holding on to stuff, but like the most I've ever done a pistol squat.
So, back to Torchwood.
Yeah.
What do you think of this specific Torchwood?
Man, you know what I was kind of thinking? Like how not iconic the Torchwood leader is.
Yeah.
Like how just like very generic as a character.
Kind of. But also weirdly Trumpy.
Oh?
She's very make Britain great again and very like...
Oh, well, there are other reasons for that.
Yeah.
Which is that Trump's not the first person to
Well, yeah.
use those words.
Yeah, but it's still relevant today.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very patriotic in an annoying way.
She did her duty for Queen and Country.
Oh, God. What did you feel about her, the end of her character arc where...
Well, you didn't like it?
I don't know if I buy it necessarily.
No?
I mean, it's fine, I guess. It's very cheesy.
I liked it.
Where she shoots Daleks and Cybermen. I don't remember if it's Daleks or Cybermen.
It's Cybermen.
Cybermen. And
yeah.
she is a Cyberman.
Yeah.
And a single tear drops out of the Cyberman eye.
Is it just the tear that you have a problem with, or is it the whole...
The whole thing.
Oh.
It's goofy.
It's
fine.
It's not goofy. Here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
I firmly believe in my heart that I'm stubborn enough to pull off something like that.
It's like...
That I would be like, I simply wouldn't be a Cyberman.
That's just saying that everyone else who's become a Cyberman is weak.
Not weak.
Just not stubborn?
Just not as stubborn as me, which is a lot. Like an unreasonable, unholy amount.
So, your essential you-ness would stay.
Yes.
Okay.
Not my, like, just enough.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just enough for, like, one big moment. Not like I would just be like, oh, I'm fully me.
Right.
Just enough to be like...
I'm gonna pull the lever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Heroic sacrifice.
Yeah.
Sort of situation. Yeah. I did not remember her at all. I didn't remember most of the first episode, to be honest. The ghosts were showing up, and I was like, I do not remember this at all. I didn't remember...
I thought you didn't even remember that Daleks were in it.
No, that is what I remembered. That's all
okay.
I remembered, was that there was Daleks and Cybermen. That's it, and that's mostly in episode 2. I completely... Because the first episode's just... Really is just set up.
Yeah.
It's all just set up.
As far as two-parters...
meandering.
Far as two-parters go, though, I feel like usually in Doctor Who, the two-parter is, like, great... or the first episode of a two-parter is like great, and then here comes the resolve, and you're like, that wasn't satisfying.
This one's the opposite, yeah.
Yeah, this one's the opposite, where it's like, there's not much happening because we're setting up episode 2, and episode 2 is going to be great.
Yeah, and episode 2 has 2 plots. One that's just kind of, it's a little weaker plot-wise, but is fun, which is the Cybermen versus the Daleks.
Oh my god, 100% like my favorite scene when they are just being cunty to each other.
Yes. There's multiple scenes of that. Because they got the video call conference where they're talking to each other. There's one that says in person, like, one of the Cybermen just, like, I forget what he says, but he just very casually disses the Daleks, like, their sense of style or something.
He says, Daleks do not have a sense of eloquence, and the Cybermen...
Elegance, yeah.
Elegance, and the Cyberman says...
Obviously.
This is clear.
Yeah. Yeah, and just the, like, Cybermen are better at one thing. Or better than the Daleks at one thing, and they're better at dying. Good shit.
Yeah. There's also something about when, like, 2 people you dislike are in a fight, and so you can just be like, ha!
Also, this is the first time the Daleks and the Cybermen have ever done... They've been in a serial, the same serial. They were in the 5 Doctors together, but they didn't interact at all. They had no scenes together. This is the first time Daleks and Cybermen have done anything together. That seems wild to me. But also, I found out part of that is because Terry Nation did not want Daleks and Cybermen to crisscross.
Did he give a reason? I
mean, he's a dick. I don't know. He just didn't want Cybermen getting mixed in with his property. He was very weird about... It's very weird that he has, like, so much ownership. He had so much ownership over the Daleks.
I kind of feel like that should be the arrangement more often than not.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
People should have retained much more ownership over the things they create than they currently do.
But it seems weird that it's like... Because it's a part of a bigger thing.
Yeah.
Like, if someone created Doctor Who, that's one thing. But, like... Someone who created a thing in Doctor Who seems different.
No,
I don't know.
I'm for it.
You're for it?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, Chibnall has the rights to all Jodie Whittaker stuff.
That's fine.
No, because what if he doesn't want people to actually write good things for him? But yes, I loved the Daleks versus the Cybermen. It was very fun. So you got that plot, and then you got the emotional plot, which is all the parallel universe, Rose, Jackie, Pete, Mickey stuff. And that's all very good, too. So, you got two good things going on in that second episode. One more thing about Torchwood. The members of Torchwood are slowly getting cyberized by sexy shenanigans.
I love the first of all, the instant messaging they've got going on. Their proto-Slack.
Every single message is in a separate window.
But I love...
Did it used to be that way?
I love the message that Not Martha sends.
Not Martha?
Which is just like, you want to see something good? And it's like, what does that mean?
I think it might mean her boobies.
Here's the thing, the way the guy reacts is like, that man is not straight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is weirdly phrased. You want to see something good.
Like...
I feel like, what?
Yeah, like, please specify. Maybe not. Maybe there's a good chance I'm uninterested.
But yes, not Martha, because this is the actress who will go on to play Martha Jones in the next season.
The very next season.
And then
Do they explain that character away as, like, related to her?
Yeah, and a cousin. Though, RTD has said if he had known that this was going to happen, he just wouldn't have had that character not die.
Yeah.
And be Martha, basically. But, like, she got cast and they filmed everything before he saw any of it. So, and he's like, oh, well, she's great. Also, I want to say another great thing that is in episode 1 is the very ridiculous TV montage.
Yeah, they get some good-ass satellite.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Jackie has every channel.
That's probably a Doctor special.
Yeah, it probably is. The Doctor's hooked her up with free cable. But I love all the little, like, fake shows with, like, the, like, you know, talk show thing, which I feel like that's not a thing anymore. Do we have shows like that anymore? Like Maury or...
I don't think so.
Is it because people don't watch actual television that much anymore?
I think they might still be, like, on daytime television. It's just...
I'm unaware of them.
Yes.
But I feel like they're definitely not as prominent as they used to be.
No. Well, when I worked at Fox, I would watch a lot of daytime television because we actually all had TVs in our office because it was a television station. So if you were watching TV at work, you were, like, monitoring the station, right?
Right.
So I would have it on, like, while I worked. Even then, there was still... It was, like, I was, like... I hadn't watched daytime television in a really long time. I only was watching it because I worked at a place that put on daytime television. And it was so much, like, court shows.
Yeah.
Divorce court. I had all of them. Every time we got, like, they sent us, like, a new promotional poster for a court item, I would put them up behind my desk. And so I just had, like, a wall of judges behind my desk.
Did you have shows like this one? It's just a real one. I just can't remember the name of it because it's British and I never have seen it.
It's still aired. Like, this was 10, 11 years ago now, but, like, they were still airing.
But I'm not specifically talking about court shows. I'm talking about, like...
No, I'm saying those types, like Maury and stuff.
Yeah. Maury, Montel, Sally Jesse Raphael, Ricky Lake, Jerry Springer, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are, I mean, I think we aired at least one of them.
I feel like it might have been Montel. I vaguely remember seeing a poster of him somewhere. Maybe.
Yeah. But it was, I mean, we're talking about like we had primary channels and then we had like a Diginets.
Yeah.
So like that would air on like the Diginets at like 2 p.m.
Right. But you got one of those. You got, I think there's a reference to Ghost Watch, which was a fake mockumentary style thing that was done for Halloween about ghosts for the BBC that caused a lot of controversy. Possibly one death. I've seen it. It's pretty good. And there's also I think it's EastEnders. There's a ghost on a soap opera. How did they pull that off? Did they actually film one of the ghosts? And how did they get it on its mark? Like,
don't ask questions. Just enjoy the montage.
It's standing there at the bar. Did it just happen to appear there? And they're like, "Well, we got to ride it in. We can't not use this." Or did they build the set around it? I don't understand the logistics. Because, I mean, I don't feel like they could have built the set around it. It's EastEnders. That set exists.
You're thinking about this entirely too much.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Why aren't you? Why aren't the people making this? I want to know specifics about how this worked in universe. Somebody write me a big finish about ghosts and EastEnders.
Can you not just shut up and watch the show?
No, I cannot. These are the things that I think about. I only have a couple more notes. Well, really, literally two. The Doctor is rude to Jackie.
So rude.
For no real reason. He doesn't need to be. He's just saying it because she can't say anything back.
It's also like, the amount of times that the Doctor's like, "Wow, you're old. You're so old." And it's like, you're 1,000, so maybe shut your mouth.
Right?
This person's like 30. I'm 30.
I think she might be older than 30.
I mean, she would have to be older than 30 because Rose is
19 when the show starts. Probably maybe 20 at this point.
No, she was 18 when it starts. She's 19 now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was it? Okay. Anyway, so she's got to be over 30 for sure. I'm sure it's mathed out somewhere. But anyway, yeah, he's like so rude. It was bugging me a little bit. It's like, calm down, man. It's a little funny, but calm down.
I do think that is a time frame thing. Like, I feel like that kind of humor was like much more in vogue, and then like we reached a point where we were like, actually, this is too mean, and we don't like it anymore. Because yeah, it didn't feel too mean first go around, and like this go around, it's like, okay, you get like one or two of those, and then you have to lay off. Actually,
right, and then maybe say something nice.
Yeah, you have to. If you're gonna have that kind of back and forth, you have to make it clear that they like each other.
To be fair, there is a scene later where it is clear that they like each other.
Yes,
because when he's like, "I'm gonna save her, I promise."
Yeah.
So,
but no, I do think that is like a cultural attitude change that has happened over time, in like how much we enjoy that kind of humor, and I feel like it has gotten less over time, and it's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, this is very of 2006, and I no longer am.
Speaking of Jackie and Pete get together despite the fact that they don't honestly know each other. How do you feel about that?
Fine. Yeah, but here's why. I don't think that they're that different.
Right. There was RTD wrote that Pete was the one who jumped over and saved Rose, which is 100% the correct choice.
Yes.
But I think there were other people that were pushing for it to be Mickey.
No.
Mickey's let her go. He's accepting her as his daughter, even though she's technically not.
Yes.
So that's all correct, and they made the right choice. I just want people. I want RTD to know you did the right thing there.
RTD, you have Joe's approval. I'm sure you were waiting on that.
I can't understand why people would not want it to be that.
Yeah.
The other way around just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no.
Like, I could maybe see it being Jackie, but even still, it makes way more narrative sense for it to be Pete.
I agree.
Yeah. And they've got such a weird, fucked up family now.
But it's kind of beautiful.
Yeah. I kind of like to see more of that.
Yeah.
See how they're faring without... I don't care about 10-2, though.
He's there, though. Can't...
He's part of that fucked up family. Oh, do you... Okay, so we know it's Jackie, Rose, Pete, and Mickey. But do you think What's-His-Face is also there? Ricky's boyfriend?
I have to believe in my heart that they do end up dating.
Mickey and him?
Yeah.
Well, we know who Mickey winds up with.
No.
Yeah, I don't like that either. Well, how do you feel about this is kind of the conclusion of Mickey's arc, coming into his own, being a brave dude. How do you feel about that? Because, like, when he shows up in the first episode, he's just immediately, like, in charge, and that's kind of cool.
His little, like, there's a moment where Rose sees him.
Rose is pretending to work at Torchwood, and then she gets found out. And then the Torchwood guy's like, so-and-so, go tell somebody or whatever. And then the guy turns around and it's Mickey. And he's like, sure. And then he, like, does, like, a shh at Rose, right?
It's a very cute scene. He gives the double thumbs up.
He does give the double thumbs up.
It's like, he's still, like, very nerdy and goofy, but also, yes, is, like, very clearly, like, active and doing things. And he's, like, kind of in control of the situation, which is nice.
And he's been tracking down Cybermen and stuff, so he's become his own person that is no longer obsessed with Rose.
Which is
probably good.
For the best.
So that's all I got, except for Donna Noble's here.
Yay!
I remember the first time I saw this, I was like, oh, I didn't know she came in so early. I thought there was another companion before her. And then thought we were about to get a whole season of her, but I was wrong.
Do still really love. It's a great way to undercut a really devastating moment.
It's funny you say that. There were reviews that disliked it for the same reason.
Really?
That it undercut the powerful ending.
I just think that's necessary sometimes.
Yeah. The show goes on.
It's also very much like Donna Noble to just show up at, like, the Doctor's lowest point and just be like, the fuck is this? Explain.
Couple of fun facts about this. One, we don't know she's Donna Noble yet. She was credited as the bride.
The bride.
And it wasn't until, like, promotional stuff for the Christmas special came out that people knew what her name was going to be. Second, this was filmed in secret.
Really?
The crew was having their wrap party, and the director didn't even know about it, and they pulled him in to film it.
What?
Yeah, to film this scene this was like months, I think, after they wrapped filming on the episode in general, because they filmed a lot of this back to back with the Cybermen two-parter for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So they have access to, Pete and Mickey and all that. So, like, this was, like, earlier. They finished filming it way earlier, but this was the last thing they filmed was the Donna Noble thing. And they secretly filmed it.
That's amazing. I love that.
There's a lot of secrecy involved around this, because for the first episode, they gave out screeners and stuff, but with the final scene missing. It said, like, this scene will not be shown until it airs, which was the Dalek reveal, because they wanted to keep that a secret. Fine with Cybermen being revealed, but that's kind of you thought it was this thing, it's the other thing. Woo! Which is actually a pretty decent... That's the first time the Daleks have ever shown up, and I've been like, whoa! Because this episode wasn't called Sphere of the Daleks or something. Egg of the Daleks.
It's not an egg. It's perfectly round.
Hey, you know what else is round? A Dalek.
What?
Daleks are round.
In what way are Daleks round?
And that they're circular around the middle.
That... I can't keep having this conversation with you.
But you know what? You're married to me. This is the rest of your life, baby.
You can't just keep saying things are round when they're not round.
You know what else I think is round?
What?
Squares. You can fit a circle inside of a square, depending on the size of the circle.
That doesn't mean anything.
It means that squares are round.
Okay, now you're just being silly.
Yes, I am. You could also fit a square inside of a circle if the square is small enough.
Yeah, sometimes things are different sizes. Correct.
And sometimes things are round. Most things are round.
Most things are not round.
When they teach you how to draw, That's one of the first things they teach you is round. You know why? Things are round.
That's not entirely inaccurate, actually.
I know this. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back for final thoughts.
Craving a caffeine fix and a dose of adventure?
Join us for the Have Coffee Will Travel podcast, where we sip, savor, and explore the world one cup at a time.
From discussing the latest coffee trends to diving into pop culture obsessions and sharing travel tips, we've got you covered.
So grab your favorite mug, hit play, and let's embark on a journey together.
Brewing up conversations about coffee, culture, and curiosity.
The Have Coffee Will Travel podcast.
And we're back. Tony, do you know what time it is?
Yes.
What time is it?
Time for final thoughts.
What? I thought you were going to do some dumb bit about the fact that it's like daylight something time. I don't know.
No, I'm really tired.
Fair enough.
I think this is one of my favorite two-parters. Feels like a very strong opinion that I just gave, but it makes you feel feelings. And at the end, Donna Noble is in it. So, like, what more can you ask from an episode of Doctor Who?
Yeah, I'd say it's one of RTD's stronger finales.
Yeah.
It might be the strongest. Maybe not my favorite, but maybe the strongest. Because I think the Bad Wolf's kind of weak. I think the next one is awful.
It's terrible, but I like it.
I like the fourth one, though. I feel like some people don't. The fourth one's a little sloppy, but I like it. It's fun. I mean the end of the fourth season, not the end of the specials. But yeah, I like this. I love the Cyber. I'm generally not a fan of Cybermen or Daleks, so it's surprising how much I like this one. And I think they are used well in this. It's a little convenient how easily they're gotten rid of, but it's fun to watch. It's fun to see those metal dudes just being chucked through the air, sucked into a big hole. That's fun. But yeah, that's good. I liked it. It wasn't as good as the first time I watched it, but it wasn't bad. I still got choked up at the Bad Wolf Bay scene. Not necessarily at the wall scene. The wall scene is what hit me hardest the first time. The wall scene killed me. But this time, I felt nothing. But I did feel sad at the Bad Wolf Bay because Rose was sad and there was dialogue and not just touching a wall. Question though, Tony. Why is it called Bad Wolf Bay?
Because Rose made it called Bad Wolf Bay.
How? This is a parallel universe.
She had god powers. I don't know. Leave me alone.
Alright, before we go, plugs. We do have plugs. I think it's still going on, depending on when this episode airs. If not, sorry. We're doing a crowdfunding campaign for a documentary we're filming about the Wholanta convention. It's called Unconventional, the Timegate Wholanta story, celebrating the 20th anniversary of Wholanta. It's currently going on. I think it should be going on by the time this episode goes live. And we need to hit our goal, so throw some money at it. So do that. There's cool rewards, like you can be put in the credits, you can get swag, tickets to a screening, a movie poster, a book, a companion book, Q&A with us and Alan and Brandon, and you get to see the film early, all sorts of cool stuff. You can get listed on IMDb if you throw enough money at us, so do that. Be on IMDb. But that's at Indiegogo.com. Just search for Unconventional or go to our social media. I'm sure I've posted it somewhere. But if you like this episode of the podcast, check out more on Watch-A-Rassilon.com. You can also find our podcast, our Patreon, and more at Linktree/Watch-A-Thon. And I'd like to give a special shout out to Vince and EL for providing us with our amazing theme song.
Thank you, Vince.
Check out more of their music at vincentel.bandcamp.com. And tune in next time when we talk about the Christmas special, the first proper episode with Donna Noble, The Runaway Bride, with returning guest Adam Clegg. So until next time, keep calm and things are round.
Goodbye, and I love you in a platonic, very social way.
And I suppose if it's my last chance to say it, Rose Tyler.
Who are you gonna call?
Ghostbusters!
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.